All right. There we go. I think we should be good from here. So, hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a good day. I'm waiting for my stream to show up live on my system here, and I think it's actually doing fine so far. Let's see, is it actually gonna make me go live? Can you guys see me right now? Because right now it's not showing me as being seen, so I might. Oh, there it goes. Okay, there it went. Perfect. Okay. So, hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a good day. Right now I'm going to move my stream in the daytime to 1080p, which means just regular HD. In the evenings I'll go back to 4K because whatever happens in the daytime, it just gets kind of wonky, and I hate having my stream cut off. So yesterday my stream got cut off and my upload speeds were just absolutely atrocious. But I think even if my upload speeds go down like to 2000 or something, I believe I can still stream a little bit here, and the signal should still come through here, which I'm pretty happy about. Loki says hello. He's right down here. He wants a treat or something, but I don't have any treats for him. He just got a treat a little bit for going outside, use the bathroom. But he's still on injury duty since he messed up his paw, so he can't really do much this week. He basically has like a little split paw, so he's basically just sitting down, laying down, and he does not like it at all. But it's almost over. As soon as he lets his paw heal, then he can go out and play around again. But he doesn't want to let it heal. He wants to go do everything to damage it as much as possible. So he's going to the vet tomorrow to make sure that everything's all clean and good. And then we're going to have it bandaged up so he stops trying to do so much with it. Although I tried bandaging a couple times, but I don't think I lost his cone. So what do you call it? He keeps on trying to tear it off. But anyway, hope you guys are all having a good day here. A lot of stuff going on with Bitcoin. If you guys were watching the stream yesterday, you guys know I bought the breakout, and we pretty much hit my big first two levels of resistance where I was doing my target prices. And I'm pretty much out of that position right now, and I'm waiting to see what happens next. So let's pop open Bitcoin very fast, and let's just kind of take it all in, because it definitely has been interesting here. And again, do want to point out, we're not necessarily there as far as the oscillators, but when I bought this yesterday during the breakout, my thesis was if we break out, it should move everything along quite well. So it looks like Bitcoin is trying to get back into this bullish mindset, which is kind of a good thing for us to see here. Now, we have a little bit more volatility today because we are breaking out above the 20-day moving average. I know I said a lot of this stuff to you guys yesterday as far as like if you guys want to buy and some of that, but I don't know if you guys necessarily heard me because my internet was trash, and I'm still kind of worried that my internet will go down. But let's see what happens. Xfinity during the daytime is probably one of the worst things ever. I had a meeting, phone call, a video call with Opus Clip a couple hours ago, and I was dropping out of the call, so no idea what's going on. Still, decent day. Hope you guys are all having a good one here. So let's just back up a little bit and see what's going on here. Bitcoin has managed to break out for the second day in a row. We are going higher here, and we are breaking above those certain levels of resistance on the daily chart specifically. There was one level of resistance right over here on $70,000. We managed to get above that. I told you guys I was using the 4-hour chart here to actually make a Fibonacci extension level, and then I was looking to sell. Let's go right here. Right. First one was right here around 68,153. The second one was up here around 69,902. I am pretty much out of that position for the most part, and now I have a little bit in seeing if it goes up any higher, in which case I probably want to sell, what did I say, around 72,400. This one is not a formal target price though. This is going to be like a feeling when I feel like I've made enough profit type of thing, because I've already been able to scale out a little bit of my trades. Now, Bitcoin's still doing well. We like the way it's going. The weekly chart looks kind of funny at this point, but we'll just have to live with that for now. We're hoping that this week and next week we can have a larger boom. And one of the reasons for that is if we go over here, the dollar index as we know it right now is getting rejected from that larger trend line. So this is very good news for those of you guys who have been waiting for something of a nastier move. With the dollar index, it seems to be coming down a little bit more. That gives a little more fuel to Bitcoin to move higher. And I also believe there was some news coming out today about, what would you call it? The Bank of England calls it something else, bank traded notes or something similar. Let me see if I can actually find that here. Go over to X. Go over to notifications. There we go. There. There it is, yeah. Just in, London Stock Exchange to launch Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange traded notes. So this is also some good news here that I'm sure helped the market a little bit here. The London Stock Exchange is reportedly set to launch Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange traded notes market. Indeed, the United Kingdom's main stock exchange issued a market notice Monday stating, that crypto ETNs will be launched on May 28th, 2024. So that's coming up in a couple months here. The exchange previously announced that it was set to accept applications for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETNs earlier this month. Additionally, the notice states that these applications can be made starting on April 8th. That's pretty close. Moreover, the announcement states that they will be subject to approval by the country's Financial Conduct Authority, which I'm sure is not as bad as our SEC, right? And from what I understand, England is looking for as much money to enter their market as possible right now, because they are having a little bit of monetary issues. So that may be a way for them to get more money in their system, so to speak. Okay. Now, as far as everything else is concerned, things are still looking pretty well. Some things are booming up a little bit more than others. Solana, for example, is still breaking out. And I know if you guys took these breakouts, you're pretty happy. Just make sure to scale out unless you guys are looking for something of a swing trade. I told you guys I wasn't planning on holding this for too long. And so I'm kind of sticking to that for now. ADA still moving up a little bit more. Dogecoin still having some monster days. Kind of running right back up into levels of resistance. You can see a little bit of, resistance up here, but basically it got back up towards like 1874 or so. So we're still looking at some pretty good moves here. Ape token looking like it wants to have a larger move today. Arbitrum still doing fine. This was a breakout attempt, but honestly, you're probably looking at something like this here, because that one right there was not nearly as nice. There. Let me move over here. Instead of going through everything right now, is there anything that's actually doing very, very well? That's Ethereum. Ethereum is having a larger move. Let's see, that was the breakout right there, but ICP has launched up a little bit. ICP is something I don't necessarily dollar cost average into, but I own quite a bit of it now after kind of the tumultuous times here. But ICP is on the verge of a breakout, so it looks like altcoins definitely want to move higher here, or at least a few of them. That may give us some room for Bitcoin to run as well. Anything else going on right now? Luma's up a little bit. Pendle is still going up a little bit here as well. AI tokens, these are weekly charts, but AI tokens are trying to make a comeback here. FA is something that's been doing okay so far, but most probably look like Fetch, where they've been kind of consolidating and coming down bit by bit. Not terrible, but still, I think I'm just going to continue to dollar cost average a lot of these and see what happens. WIF is still coming down here after a breakout, which is interesting. You can see it's trying to test out support, or at least on the daily chart, it's trying to test out support. Not so much on the 4-hour chart here, but we're trying to hold here and see if we can go higher. So maybe this might be an opportunity to buy some WIF here. Floki's up a little bit here after its breakout. Miro's still moving okay, not really the best, but doing fine. Baby Doge is still doing fine, and Boom is still sideways here. I'm hoping that Boom can just have a launch moment here, so I might buy some more of that just in case. And then finally, where's a Shiba Inu? I wanted to talk about that one for a second too. There you go. It's finally starting to take a turn. It is at a level of resistance, which is kind of around this 20-day moving average, just like we talked about yesterday. And this has the opportunity, probably either today or tomorrow, to have a pretty big pop that goes right back up towards resistance. So I'm keeping Shibas on a day trading watch list to see if I see a breakout on maybe the 1-hour chart. I may tackle it as long as everything else looks okay. And from there, I can go full steam. On the hourly chart though, right now, we've already had a smaller move here. We saw the same thing with Dogecoin. But what I'm really looking for is something more along the lines of, oh, I probably already broke out actually. Yeah, it did. Because that one already broke out a while ago as well here. Yeah, because that was nasty with all the bearish oscillators there as well. So I'm going to have to look for another breakout here for SHIB. I'm not comfortable buying it just yet. Even on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, perhaps if we can just confirm a close right over here around 330.28, I might feel more inclined to buy into this, just because the oscillators are kind of mixed right now. But I still am optimistic about this being a dark horse candidate for later on today to have a much larger move. Or I should say tomorrow, for tomorrow's day candle, which would mean like a little bit later on today, basically. All right, but things are working out pretty well. Actually, let's check out our long-term portfolio because I don't exactly know what's going on there. We're back to being positive. We're up 56 bucks. Not bad. Okay. So dollar cost averaging did help us out a little bit. We got some more money in the available balance here to kind of keep things moving along. Big time is still down 80%, and that big time is, I bought a 3x leverage play, so I might double down on this if it looks like we're about to make a recovery. So let me go over here and add 50 bucks into this and just move it down a little bit more and see if that helps me out a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Anything else that's down quite a bit that hasn't been moving well? Anything else? Meme is still down a little bit here over the last few days. I'll just add $20. Let's see. Is that coming down at all? There we go. Okay. Anything else that really concerns me? Not much. So basically, ICP is leading the way for the profits for today, and so is Ocean. Ocean's been doing well, and True is doing well as well here. What's True doing over the last couple days? Yeah, we bought over here during this consolidation, moving higher. So things looking okay. Am I optimistic and bullish about the next few days? I'm still a little bit leery about it, but if you guys are more optimistic about buying breakouts right now, those seem to be doing fine. For you swing traders, I'm still skeptical. At this point. I know that sounds crazy, but at least right now I can say I'm more bullish than bearish at this point. Which is why I'm happy I was able to buy this breakout, but right now I'm already scaling out of it. So I don't have a cigar for right now, but if you guys want to chill and talk about whatever, it's fine. I normally don't stream this early in the day, so bear with me if I'm still a little sleepy, but I appreciate it. And hey, the Dime Life shirt gives vacation vibes. I know. I was talking about my the meeting I had this morning was with Opus Clip talking about Vegas, and I was hoping it was going to be sunny today because I was going to go outside with Loki a little bit. You know, just I have to every time I take him to use the bathroom, he has to be on a leash because I don't want him to like reopen his paw injury or make a paw injury worse. I'd better say that. But I love wearing the Hawaiian shirts and stuff like that. I need a vacation. I don't get one until next April. April, but even then I'm gonna be working. But I'll find a way for a nice vacation for myself eventually. I might just go on one of those Alaskan cruises just for a few days to get by myself. Man. And hey, Heather, happy to see you guys. Gala had a nice move last night, thinking it's gonna move again once Bitcoin is done moving. It may continue to move even if Bitcoin continues to go higher as well. Some of these tokens are very undervalued compared to where they are, and I think people right now are just rushing back into them, if that makes sense. And that's why you're seeing some of these moves like Dogecoin where they just start launching out of nowhere and all of a sudden, boom, everybody has to play catch up here. And that's why, for future reference, it's one of the reasons I dollar cost average some of these moves here, right? It just makes it a little bit easier so that if we do have a reversal like this, you still have some say in what's going on. And of course, if you find something that's breaking out, that's always something as well. But we had to wait a while for that breakout though. All right, that breakout. How far do we have to come down? Yeah, it was 10 days of bearishness before I even got a little optimistic. This one I was happy with this, but this was Jerome Powell. After Jerome Powell, we died back down, and then I think we were doing some fun scalping just for shits and giggles over here that Friday night, and those ended up doing okay as well. Well, the scalps really were only from here to here, or from here to here, but overall, things are still working out in our favor at this point, so I'm happy. Let's see. And this also helps me with my theory that we won't have a death cross until we have we really peak with Bitcoin, which makes me a little bit happier. And before I go into questions, we have 25 days, 18 hours, 12 minutes, and 26 seconds. My head is blocking everything I know, but that's what it is right there. There we are. All right. See. And hey, Shutterdown, thanks for looking into Skid on Sol. I can look at it for you very fast. Skid on Sol. Just look it up. Skid. Skid. Oh my god, this is a risky play. This is a tiny market cap, guys. Tiny market cap. I've never been so bullish on a coin. What do you call? Oh yeah. I remember this one. I remember this one right here. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of people buying into that one, I'm sure. Just because everybody's always looking for the next meme token, right? You're holding 1,000 ICP at $3. Should I sell? Hey Juan, it depends on what your price target is. It's okay to scale out. That's what people typically do. They sell a little bit now, a little bit next week, a little bit the week after. If you're trying to lock in profits and be like, hey, I made a good trade. I bought ICP at $3 and I want to sell it at what's that right now? If I can find it. Oh, $16, then, by all means, you can start scaling out. But you're going to have to sell it eventually. So you could always sell it in bits and hope that it goes higher over time. Or you can sell it all at once, or you can just wait a little bit longer to see what happens. It really just depends on what you want to do with it. I'm the type of guy that scales out, but that's me. Ooh, excuse me. When you find a good trade, like how Bitcoin started moving aggressively, do you open a spot trade or leverage or multiple even? I know you said you'd like to wait until the moment is right, just so when it happens. For me, I only open leverage like futures trades, basically. I don't do spot trading all too much because spot trades, for the most part, they don't give you the ability to do stop losses and price targets. This is a good example here. If I pull this over, you can see that I can go over here and I can't show you guys this right now because it's condensed, but I can go over here and I can do target price and stop loss, right? I can do that right there. But if I go over here to spot, there is no stop loss, there is no target price, so it doesn't trade like that. So it becomes very, very, very annoying. So for me, I just stick to futures trading, even if it's like a 1x play. But typically what I'll do is, for this example here, because I was able to talk to you guys a little bit on, was it Friday? No. Did I stream on Sunday? I did stream on Sunday. Yeah. Oh, today's Monday. My God, yeah. So yeah, this was yesterday. When I was telling you guys about I would be buying this breakout. For me, I usually just wanted to have a confirmation, the 1 hour chart or the 4 hour chart. And you can see where the confirmation there. And on the 4 hour chart, the confirmation came right here as well. Pretty similar time, both before that drop that happened. But your stop loss is probably going to be right here, the previous dip, right? And so you still didn't have any worries there. And of course, we were able to continue on. And I was happy because during this time frame, everything was bullish here as far as the oscillators. The 1 hour was a little bit different here, right? Still bullish, still bullish, still bullish. But I felt like, we were kind of going sideways with the RSI, so I was a little bit more worried about that. But overall, it was still looked at pretty well. Went higher. They attempted to, there's a lot of manipulation going on right now, I would say. They're really trying to scare people off that have the too tight stop loss. So if you had a stop loss like right back down here or something, or right down here, you really got to go down to that deeper level there, which, just zoom out and you'd be like, where's that big level? Oh yeah, there it is, right? But typically once that breakout happens, I'm usually okay with it. It just depends on how I see the momentum going. Like from over here from Tuesday to over here from Friday, my mind started to be like, hey, maybe we can find some support here if we have a higher low. But the technicals would still suggest we come down lower. Once we come back over here, I was like, okay, we're kind of going sideways enough where things are getting a little bit better. Now, if we have an opportunity to break out, the oscillators at that time show a little bit of a different story, especially on the daily, right? We're coming back up a little bit more now, things a little bit nicer. From there, I'm like, I might actually take a buy here, even though that's not typically what I do. And that's what ended up working out. I think I put it on Telegram message as well. If we get broke out, I was going to take a buy. But yeah, this was a little bit different type of trade that I'm used to, just mostly because of all the external factors. For example, like what goes on in my head here, as some of you guys know that watch me for a while. First of all, we're in a bull market. We technically shouldn't be having these massive drops back to like 40,000 or 50,000, technically. Although there was a good chance of doing that because of all the weird external factors with how fast Bitcoin went up, pre-halving, etc. Right? That's why those options were available for people to think about. Second of all, typically Bitcoin doesn't have death crosses until it's peaked, right? It peaks over here, death cross, then comes down. Another all-time high peaks, death cross comes down. All-time high, death cross peaks, or peaks, death cross comes down, right? We typically don't have those death crosses at this point in the journey. For me, I don't believe that this is the all-time high of Bitcoin, right? I think for those people that think this is the all-time high of Bitcoin, we've already reached the high. We're not going to go any higher this cycle, right? I think they may have a point, I guess, as far as like, you know, I mean, in their mind, it would make sense for us to continue falling down and just kind of collapse and collapse and collapse. That's not how I think about it, which is, of course, why I was buying more over the last few days. However, point being, if Bitcoin can start to rally on here and go a little bit higher, a little bit faster, we're not going to be looking at a death cross here between the 20 and the 50, which could give me a little bit more of a, thank God, now we can just hurry up and get this over with. Because I don't like to see those patterns broken. Every now and again, the pattern breaks and we still go higher after death cross, but it's not something I want to see because a lot of the ways that I trade are planned around those larger moves. Excuse me. Jeez. Talking too much. There you go. And you can see the 1 hour chart still doing pretty hot. We're consolidating a little bit more now on the 15, but I think we should have another breakout here soon enough, which should be pretty nice to watch. Hey, on board. I got a vacation August. Have to choose where to go. I know. I'm going on a few vacations this summer. I'm so excited. I just need to get out a little bit more. Shiba Kinu? Keanu? Oh, yeah, Shiba Keanu. Well, Genesis went bust. Glad I didn't open an account. Looks like the US people in New York can only use Coinbase. Let's see. I think so. I don't know. I'm not in New York, but I know they only have certain rules there. I'm in Washington. We have certain rules here, too. And what's right here? Hey, Puma, happy to see you, my man. Let me know if you have any questions. Could I use the order blocks for a good entry with my other indicators? If you so can give me examples. So me, where you would use order block to entry. You can use it for entry points, but it just depends on how many order blocks you have. Usually, if you want to have a good example, go over to the Lux Algo account on Twitter. All right. There you go. They follow me, so it should say that they follow me and you should be able to see it. See how they have the order blocks on here as examples? They usually do quite a few of them where they show the examples, the trend lines, the all that type of stuff. It'll help you out a little bit more. And they're pretty good at it. Or what you can do, what's better, because I'm not going to be able to show you much on live stream. If you go over to the Lux Algo website, I think you can do this for free. So if you go to the Lux Algo website and you go to products or resources, if you go down to tutorials, they should have a section here where, yeah, price action concepts, that's one of them. And they might have one with the smart money concepts. No, where's there you go, full documentation, see our guide. Here you go, see our guide. It'll take you to a whole backend site where you can just see a whole bunch of stuff. Like what is Lux Algo, what is TradingView, how to set up toolkits and stuff like that. So you can see everything going on. And then from there, you can go over and say, hey, price action concepts, if you got that one. Most of the time, you guys are going to have smart money concepts instead of price action concepts. But still, market structure, it'll go over all of that. Volumetric order blocks, right? And it'll show you everything you need to know. Even if you're not paying for the price action concepts, you can use the same exact information for the smart money concepts, which is the free version, of course. So that's something I would look at. It's very, very useful. Very, very useful. I'd recommend this to a lot of people out there. Mostly because they don't make this very easy to see. And I wish they did, because once you get into this back end area, there's so much stuff that you could, like, they even got back testing systems in here, right? Exit conditions, take profit, stop loss, optimizations. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do. Now, I don't even do half the stuff with this. I have my own system. You know, I use it as a complement, not as the end all for my opening and closing of positions. But again, remember what we talked about this in the past. If you were to just use this over here, perhaps on maybe a 1 hour chart, and then you open up smart money, and then you wouldn't just buy the colors, you know, you could do some day trades here if you wanted to. Now, you can see in this example, this is just an hourly chart. If you bought right here at the end of the hour, you had like 4 or 5 good hours of selling and making money off of this trade. And you could see there's some resistance there. You can see momentum starting to die back down during that time. So you could make trades. Oh, look at that wide level of resistance. So you could try to do stuff like this, even right here. Buy right here, all the oscillators are green. That kind of makes it a little bit nicer. Change your character, of course. Move up a little bit higher. You're running into a little bit of resistance, but not necessarily all the way up. Mostly just the 200 here. And then, of course, it continues to go higher. If you're buying here, your stop loss is here. You can still hold on until it turns red or whatever you're personally looking for. Again, you'd want to be looking at different time frames and stuff. But there are different ways of going about it, right? You know, sell right here, over here. This one didn't work as well, right? So it kind of went off because that's technically when we were peaking. But typically, if you just do the simple strategies, you're going to be making more money over here than you would over here because your stop loss would be here or here. So you're going to be losing money every now and again. But, you know, with just the basics here, you're going to be looking at more profit than losses. Excuse me. That's a better way to say it. Even over here, went up high, then eventually crashed back down. I think there was something that was happening on this day, but still, typically, just the 1 hour chart with just change of characters plus following some momentum, you're fine. Maybe a 1 hour chart with 4 hour momentums, you know, that's also a good way to go about it. But maybe I should make another video about that type of stuff. There we go. And hey, Judah man, what do you call it? You want to form a double top here, but we're still going to go a little bit higher? That's definitely a possibility right now because of how fast we've been going. I would anticipate, I mean, okay, so if we're going off of like normally what Bitcoin would do, we should peak here pretty soon, which is again why I'm selling off some of my day trades here, and come back down, and then we should have another consolidation. And that consolidation should lead us to another breakout that happens sometime Tuesday or so. And so basically it looks like, what's an easy way to show this? Don't follow this line exactly, okay? Don't do it exactly, right? Then we have a trend line that goes like that, and then we break out later on, maybe sometime this Thursday or Friday or something. For example, it's just an example. But typically we don't just keep on like rocketing up like that. Give it some time. If you guys are looking for an opportunity to buy in because maybe you didn't buy this breakout, or maybe you haven't had a chance to dollar cost average over the past few weeks, or week and a half or so, perhaps you can wait for that dip to come and you can try to buy that dip. Of course, people might be a little bit afraid of falling, catching a dip right here, but at least momentum is shifting. So it's still a risky trade. You know, so there's still an opportunity for you to lose money, but at this point, if you're looking for something to try to hop into, that'd probably be your next best bet. Or if you just wanted to buy right now and anticipate we're going to go higher later on, you can do that too. But I usually try to wait for a little bit of a dip, and we won't have one probably for a few more hours at least. Well, something substantial, I would say. Hey, itty bitty. Regarding XRP, if banks use the XRP ledger, why do they even need XRP token? Why not just create a new token that is exclusive to the banks? You're probably poking holes in XRP. I don't think they necessarily need the XRP token to do that. I think they probably just want the technology behind it. They would just want to move a specific token on there. I don't know if it'll be XRP that's actually doing the moving, to be honest. But I don't think they're going to make a new token that's exclusive to the banks. That'd be bad optics, in my opinion. The banks would most likely want to use some type of government stable coin, if anything. Otherwise, they're probably going to prefer using just cash. They'd prefer just using straight cash, old fiat money. They're not ready to take that next jump up yet, for the most part, as far as I understand. They're still building out everything. So basically, the current holders never seen upside, only the banks. The holders should see a profit or a return eventually, but yeah, it's been a slow thing here. Because remember, despite XRP not doing anything for the past few years, that's saying something. It still is number 6 on the market caps here, so it does have a pretty steady market cap, and it hasn't fallen off like other tokens. It kind of just has this massive range going on. Like XRP right now is the same price it was back in like 2018 or something. Weekly chart. Yeah, we're at the same price we were back in 2018. So I don't know. There's not much to be said about it here. The good thing is on the monthly chart we are having a breakout here. If you go back over here to what we were talking about we haven't talked about this maybe like 3 weeks now, right? There's a few different types of breakouts that could have happened. Of course, this was kind of choppy here, so nobody did it. Back over here, right, this much larger one, we're still on track to break out of it maybe over the next couple months or so, maybe even next month. Yeah, maybe even next month if we're lucky. I would say maybe June. No, I mean, if Bitcoin's going to take another leg up now, XRP should be able to do the same thing. So maybe even April. I'm just so pessimistic on this, even though I hold it. But I was hoping that this breakout right here might lead us to continue moving on, but it wasn't. So if you recall, we were talking about this breakout, right? And we came up. Here's a daily chart here. Right, and you see how messy of a breakout this was? Messy. That one soccer player. But we hit the resistance level, came back down, and maybe we have an opportunity to break out now. We're seeing a little bit of resistance, maybe a higher move as the next few days go along. So I'm still holding it because of that. But yeah, it's definitely just been, it's it's definitely been a hassle. But I do anticipate if you have some XRP right now, and about a month or two, it should be vastly higher. I'm not aiming for the moon with XRP. I'm just aiming for some good profit. Most of my money is not in XRP because the past returns have just not been incredible. So typically, it's a longer term hold asset for me because I do think it'll go do well in the future. But, who knows when everything will kind of come together to get XRP to like $5, $10, $15, especially since the market cap is already kind of high. Where's my Bank of America token? Oh my God, can you imagine? Because we all know that banks and all those types of crews, they're all making tons of different changes in their infrastructure due to the blockchain. We always talk about how, what's his name? What's the guy's name? JP Morgan guy, Jamie Dimon, how he hates Bitcoin and whatnot. And he hates, blockchain stuff. But if you go over to chase jobs or careers, you go look at them and you go over here to experienced professionals, search for opportunities, search blockchain. They got blockchain jobs, right? Well, this is zoomed in quite a bit. There you go. Blockchain lead software engineer, product manager, Onyx Digital Assets blockchain analyst associate, right? So like I can even go over here and you could always search for what this stuff is. Onyx Digital Assets, right? So Onyx Digital Assets is an asset tokenization platform for enabling financial institutions, asset managers, and fintechs to unlock and untap utility for the financial assets. Recording and representing a financial asset as a programmable token on a blockchain increases asset utilization and mobility, powers instant and atomic transaction settlement, provides real-time transparency of the asset's lifecycle, and enables operational process automation, right? So a whole bunch of stuff here. And then I bet they even have there you go. I mean, there's tons of stuff you can learn about it, right? They have coin systems, blockchain launch, digital assets, and link. I mean, they say they don't like it, but they're doing stuff behind the scenes for sure to try to make as much money off of it as possible. I don't know how much money you're going to get paid for this job, though, but I would anticipate it being a pretty good paying job here. But they have Onyx design, right? That's for Onyx. Operational readiness, Latam payments operations. Don't know what that is, but that's all the way in Argentina. And then this one's in London. Check match product manager. Don't know what that is. So some of these are probably blockchain, some of them are not. But yeah, so they're hiring people at this point for those types of positions. Hey Kelly, should it be smart to buy Doge at point like 18 cents? I mean, I would be dollar cost averaging at this point for a lot of people. It feels like a lot of people are waiting for like a very magic dip to appear, and when they get a dip, they don't necessarily dollar cost average into it. Like, and what ends up happening is you end up just overall just not having a good amount of capital invested into the market, and it kind of burns people. When it comes to Dogecoin now, it's already been running up quite a bit, and even a few days ago, Dogecoin was all the way back down here, right? Came all the way down here to 12 cents, like 13 cents. Whether was that 6 days ago or so? And you know, that would have been a better opportunity to start dollar cost averaging within this zone, or even over here once it kind of started dying off and had that first big dip around 15 cents, 14 cents. But right now, you've come right back up into a level of resistance here. And Bitcoin, even though it was going sideways or down for a couple of days, Dogecoin's been moving up by itself. So it's hard to say if you're going to get a really good dip out of this one. But typically for me, I would just start dollar cost averaging a lot. Because right now, that's what's been doing better for me. Because I haven't been doing many swing trades just yet over the past, week and a half, 2 weeks even. What I've been doing is doing this with you guys every Thursday. I go around and I buy like $400 or $300 worth of altcoins. And I just buy and I buy and I buy every single week. Now we're only at 53 bucks in the past 3 weeks. You know, it's not necessarily a lot, but we were also down like a couple $100 a couple days ago, or a few days ago, just off of some of those nastier moves that we experienced. So eventually the dollar cost averaging, it picks up your account and makes you money, and that's usually the easier way. Now you don't have to be as diversified as me, of course. I have like 32 open positions right now. You don't have to do that, but just, you know, 5, 6 tokens, maybe just 3 tokens, whatever you feel comfortable with. You know, that's an easy way to go about it. What's it here? I personally think Doge at 18 is extremely risky. I sold at 156 and bashing myself, but resistance at the urge at FOMO right now. 18 is usually a top before a dump, but who knows? That's why I would just continue dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging so far this cycle has not served me wrong, especially because I'm just waiting for it to go higher, right? Just waiting for it to go higher and higher and higher. And at the worst, I lose a few bucks or something like that if something really goes wrong, but nothing's gone wrong so far. So on it, yeah, we can check that out again. Do a short little recap. Basically, just like Bitcoin, it broke out. It's not breaking down below the 20-day moving average like Bitcoin did, which is kind of a nice sign here. And you're basically looking at some of those smaller levels of resistance, like point A right here, which is at 195. And if it's able to break out there, it should have a pretty straight shot getting back up here towards the 200 level. I would say 205 level. The peak right now is around 211. I don't know if it would take up that next move. I would anticipate this to probably go a little bit higher, then start to fall back down. That dip would probably be a better opportunity to buy in there. You would only get concerned about this in the future if we start breaking down below this trend line right here. We got 1, 2, held support once, held support twice, 3 times, 4 times. So it's a pretty strong level of support, pretty good trend line I'd be using in my charts. Oscillators on this are still a little bit more bearish, so this is why I would anticipate we probably have a dip a little bit later on. But on the 4 hour, things are all bullish. You had a breakout plus bullish momentum. That's something nice to trade. Usually that's more of a day trade than a swing trade for me, which is again why I'm not swing trading too much stuff at this point, but we're still looking pretty good. You're just basically hitting a level of resistance, and it's not necessarily breaking out. Maybe on the 15-minute chart, you can get a little bit more of a boost here pretty soon, but it might need to happen over the next 2 hours if you want to see it move up nicer. Plus, Bitcoin looks like it wants to have a little bit of a dip and rip effect here potentially, so that might be a good move for Solana as well. My case for XRP is still one bank will not trust another bank's coin. XRP will work out for all. Yeah, I mean, that's probably it. I'm just wondering if the government's going to try to interfere, and that could always cause a little bit more chaos. But I think they're still going to be using XRP systems and whatnot, if that makes sense, like their blockchain. So regardless, XRP should still find a way to make some money there. Hey, best of RuneScape, how do you do dollar cost average? Oh, well, the easy way is every week or every month, whenever you feel comfortable with, you just have a list of cryptocurrencies you want to buy. You do any research and everything, and you just put a few bucks into those cryptocurrencies. For me, I put in about 300 to 400 bucks every week into crypto, right? And I do them with leverages personally. You don't have to do that at all. Don't worry about it. And then once you feel comfortable with how much money you've made in profit, doesn't matter exactly where Bitcoin is at, where the coin is at. If you feel comfortable that you made enough profit off of it, you can just sell. And that way, basically, while you're in a bull market here, for example, this is a weekly chart here. All right, let's see, I see Bitcoin start to take a big dip down or something. I can dollar cost average, dollar cost average, dollar cost average, and I may be losing money over here, but eventually the market goes back up and you're pretty happy with the results. For example, over the last few days, I started to dollar cost average on the Friday way over here. Dollar cost average, dollar cost average, dollar cost average, dollar cost average over here. I didn't dollar cost average too much on this day, and maybe not as much over here as I wanted to, but basically dollar cost averaging over here. So now my average is somewhat over here for the majority of my tokens relative. And now that we've boosted up, I'm now in profit. And if it continues to go higher and higher over the next few weeks, then I'll probably sell if Bitcoin hits around like 80,000, 85,000, 90,000. Whatever we get to around those levels, I'll be happy to dollar cost average. One thing here though is as Bitcoin goes up, I'm still dollar cost averaging, still dollar cost averaging, still dollar cost averaging. So it's not going to be just like I stopped dollar cost averaging because all of a sudden I'm profitable. I'm still adding more to my positions, which is fine as long as you guys know that you guys are going to have to sell them eventually to take some profit. Don't hold on too long. Again, we did this. I bought at the end of December for a lot of my positions over here. I didn't sell until March 2nd, which is like right here. Okay. So I wasn't aiming for the top. I don't care about the top. I saw myself have like $8,000 profit. I was like, good enough. Let's close the positions and let's see where they go. A lot of stuff that I sold ran up the following week and the following day. I didn't care because I was making money. Because at the end of the day, all you want is money from the market. That's why you're here, right? Let's go back over here. There we go. Check out the 5-minute chart. I want to see if we can have a move. So far, looks like we're slowing down on the volume here just a tad, but if we're able to, should be able to have a nice little bust through the wall. Let's see. Ain't always true. Best you say I'm going to invest X amount on this day every week, month, etc., and then you buy a bag of tokens. Yeah. Well, honestly, like from what I've gathered over the past few times I've done this, because I normally don't do this with you guys so openly, and I was just like, well, you know, maybe you guys would actually enjoy this. You guys don't have to choose the same tokens I choose. You guys can choose whatever tokens you want to. But what I have seen is there is a lot of hesitancy to actually dollar cost average, and I still don't understand why. Because I think it's because people dollar cost average in a bearish move, and so they see them buying, and then they see the price go down and down and down and down and down. And I think that it messes with people's heads a little bit because they're afraid it's going to keep on going down, and they just can't see a few weeks down the road or a few months down the road. Because remember, up until we found that support around $60,000, I thought we might come back down. What did I? Because initially I called it at what, $60,000 with my support level. I was like, okay, well, let's see if we can hold that one. The day after, when we started to really turn over because we had that bad news coming from the dollar index, I was like, oh damn, we could start going back down to that next level of support around $58,000 to $55,000, and that'd be even worse. But I think people wait for those larger dips instead of actually buying at 62,000, 64,000, 66,000. They don't want to buy there because they want to be able to buy everything at like a potential 55 or what's that guy? What's the guy's name? I know he's a large YouTuber. What's his name? Tame the Arc. I know a couple of you guys were talking to me about this. Oh, he changed his thumbnail. Remember, okay, I'm not crazy. He had a thumbnail a couple days ago that was basically Bitcoin, yeah, day 28 out of 52 crypto bear market, right? Except for it was a different thumbnail, and he was calling for Bitcoin to go to $40,000, right? Now, unless you're on that bad exchange, it did not really hit $8,900. If you go to any regular exchange that was like credible, Bitcoin went only down to what? It went as low as 60,775. That's as far as it went, right? So if people like that are following me, or if I said Bitcoin was going to $40,000, I still try to tell you guys, even if I thought it, which I didn't. I would still tell you guys dollar cost average along the way as a hedge. That's typically the best way to go about it. Let's go back over here, since all of a sudden Bitcoin wants to see if it can go up again. We might even see a little bit more volume here too. There we go. See, you lost comments on Twitter. Bye because Bitcoin is price is high. I don't even know. I haven't been keeping track of Elon Musk here. That's a pin one. The circle where we complete the everything app. Wait, why? I don't like that logo. I like that logo. Let's see. The Wall Street Journal is dying. Well, Legacy Meeting's gonna be dying for a while here, but I haven't seen much here. I'm excited to see what Neuralink does. Can you imagine buying Bitcoin with Neuralink? I would absolutely love that. We need to really have a big move here in the next, what, 20 minutes or so. Otherwise, we're going to be coming back down and consolidating for a little bit of time, which isn't going to be the best move here. Let's see. Oop. There you go. Yeah, there you go, Discount Killer. Yeah, you can only do that so many times until I get annoyed. Hey, Paul. Now, unless it hits strong support, I'm not buying. I'm focusing on sell points. Most people right now are going to be scaling out. Like I said, I'm scaling out right now on my day trade that I took yesterday. I'm scaling out. I'm not buying anything right now. But again, everybody has their own strategies here. And right now, I am looking for an opportunity for a couple swing trades, but I'm not there yet. I'm getting there though. For me, I would like to see Bitcoin, again, like I told you guys before, move like this, right? Where's my point? There you go. Then I want to see that, and then I want to see Bitcoin break out. And by the time Bitcoin breaks out right here, I think momentum will be back on our side. And I think that the dollar index should be a little bit lower down. And to me, that's going to be the entry that I'm looking for to go in for a swing trade where I want to hold Bitcoin for a week or two. Now, not everybody has to wait for that, you know? Some people are buying right now in anticipation of that. I'm kind of waiting for maybe a dip over here to kind of do a baby entry in there. And then another double down on the breakout itself. But there's a whole bunch of different ways you can go about it. There we go. Let's move this back over here. I don't think we need to have that breakout anymore since it's already happened. Same with this over here. But I can definitely see, you could even see it being an ascending triangle like that. Where now we're just looking to break out sometime this week, going in. And what is this? It's a... Let me see. So yeah, we don't have, the market's closed this Friday here. So that may give an opportunity for Bitcoin to have a pretty robust weekend, which could be pretty nice. But now I would say, yeah, you're looking at something like that. That's the new setup for you guys to use right now in this middle zone. Typically, I mean, you can buy around here if you want to. The way I usually go about it is I buy on those smaller breakouts like we did over here. And then I'm probably going to look to buy if we take another dip back down here to maybe 68,500 or so, maybe. So around 68,000, that might not be bad. But eventually we should consolidate a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see if we can really consolidate below this level right here though. Do we manage to hold that, or we do break down? And if we do break down below this, I'm probably going to be likely to buy into this zone as a kind of a premium buying opportunity, as long as, again, the dollar index is still coming down here. I really don't want to see this breakout. You know how long this has been in the works? This has been consolidating for freaking 2 goddamn years. 547 days. I do not want to see this thing break out and go higher, because that would just destroy any hope that I have for Bitcoin to continue just ramping up here. I mean, heck, even gold is continuing to go higher this month. So far, though, today, kind of more of a nuance. 4-hour chart, not doing anything. We spiked up, looks like last Wednesday, but since then, not much has been happening. There we go. Looks like Bitcoin wants to come down and consolidate for a little bit of time. We're breaking down below the 20 here. Unless we get a nice little boom. I'm looking at a whole bunch of bearishness. There we go. I bought back into Matic on the 1-hour golden cross last night. Oh, nice discount killer. I know Matic has been interesting. I mean, remember a few months ago we were just waiting for it to hit $1, and now that it's hit $1, nothing else really matters in my opinion with Matic. And now we're just hovering around $1.04 or something. It's been nice to see it kind of come up bit by bit. I started to dollar cost average with 85K at dollar cost average out. Oh yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. And hey Vegas, and hope you're doing well, my man. I did learn more about my Vegas trip. For me to meet with people, if you wanted to meet me in Vegas, it would be the Saturday I arrive, because everybody's coming in like at the evening or the afternoon time. So it might be somewhere on a Saturday, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock type of meetup or something. Maybe we can gamble on some slots or something. I don't know. But I think they have a sports book in there or something, or the pool area. I'm not entirely sure. I know one of the pools is open to the public, which I think is pretty nice. But yeah, that'd be probably the time. I'll talk more about it come to date. But if you want to hang out in Vegas, probably the Sahara, or it could be anywhere. It could be Fremont. I don't really care the location. But it'd be that Saturday, April 13th. That'd be the day. But hope you're doing well, man. And hey, Prod, I appreciate it, my man. TA is one of my favorite things to do. Could Bitcoin possibly go to 65K? I mean, it already was at 65K, though. I don't know if people would necessarily buy it if it went back down there again. But if you want to pull this back up to the daily chart, it could come back down as probably as low as 66,800 or so. In order to come back down to 65 without breaking down completely and making it worse, like if you buy it goes down, it would have to drop to 65K today. Most likely, it might come back down here to around $68,000 to $67,000. That might be as low as it goes if it wants to continue this overall bullish trend. Because of course, we could always consolidate here for the day candle for a while, and then again, because momentum has shifted so fast, just poop, shoot, boom, like that, right? Going into this weekend could have a nice little breakout. But the time to buy under $65,000, that was all over here. A whole bunch of bearishness that we saw, which is probably why the dollar cost average that I keep on mentioning was probably the best way of going about it. Let's go back to the 5 here. There we go. And hey Cortez, the action starts heading into April 21st in May. I'm excited for May. This March has been kind of bleh, just kind of meh here so far. And hey Patrick, I followed the team that Ark. He didn't predict 40K Doge. No, not Dogecoin. He said Bitcoin. He had it on his thumbnail. It was like his big thumbnail, Bitcoin to 40K, 28 days out of 50, something like that. Started the bear market or something like that. I think he just didn't update it or something. But like if you went to his, well, I'm not gonna go into it. But yeah, he had it on his thumbnail saying day 28 of 50 crypto bear market. Bitcoin to 40K. And that's what I was talking about. He didn't talk about Dogecoin as far as I know, although I know he likes Dogecoin a lot. I remember him making streams about it back in the day along with me. And hey, Paul, I'm not trying to time the top. I learned my lesson the hard way last ball rub. I followed the limit sells at 98,000, 99,800, 114,800, 138,000, 140,000, 49,000. It's not bad. I mean, we really don't know how high Bitcoin can go during this cycle. But again, I usually follow my system. We're just waiting for those momentum to kind of peak. So we peak for like a couple months or a month to 2 months. While nothing is happening, I know I should be really out of my position, because if we're staying steady for that long, something's wrong. And that's usually where I start to be like freak out a little bit more. But during that sideways action is when the altcoins are running up. So typically you're going to be selling off Bitcoin well before you sell off your altcoins, which I think people find is weird, because they're always assuming that if you're selling Bitcoin, you have to be selling your altcoins, when you don't necessarily have to be doing that. There are so many coins to buy. How do you choose your bags? Every day of the week, something seems to have 50x new coins. Do you jump on all of it if they have the all potential? No. So there are people that just stick around in different types of areas in the crypto market. For me, I like to buy tokens that are just accessible to me. That means they have to be on Coinbase or BYDeFi or Fairdesk or Crypto.com. They have to be somewhere along that place for me to want to buy them. But what I'll typically do, like with anybody, is I'm always looking for those gems out there that maybe will pique my interest. Like recently, we've been looking at AI tokens and meme tokens. So if I go over here to coinmarketcap.com, let me make this over here. There you go. My head back on here. There you go. Let's move my head over here. Yeah, that works. Okay, so I can go on this AI tab right here. From there, it takes me to all the AI tokens, and I can see the market caps on them. And then so typically, what you can do is you can come down here and just start searching for any AI token that you want to. And I can see one right here at $515 million market cap, $482 million market cap, etc., etc. Arkham over here. And then from there, I can see what's been moving up over the past few months. And this is one of the reasons we've been buying the dips up for a lot of these AI tokens, because they have been running up so much. They dipped, great opportunity to buy before eventually the market moves higher. But RLC, I have some of this one. It's only $281 million market cap. IQ over here, I don't own any. But let's say you find one. Like here's Follow Network. This one's I bought a few weeks ago. And it's been doing very, very well. Despite Bitcoin not doing so hot, this one's been doing great. You can click on it and you go over here to markets, right? And you can see everywhere where you can buy this. So if I see this on somewhere where I can buy it, then I'm like, okay, I buy it, I'm done. 20 bucks, 100 bucks. For this one, I think I spent like 100 bucks, and so far it's worth oh, hold on. I gotta actually log into my account. Let's see. There you go. Here's one of them. So I bought about 900 FA for about $160. And so far, if I can go back over to it, I think I can find it over here. There you go. Oh, you guys, it's like barely above my head, but basically that $160. When did I buy it though? It doesn't matter. That $160 is now worth $302, right? And I just bought it a few weeks ago and just holding it, dollar cost averaging, whatever. Or I didn't dollar cost average. I just bought it because it looks like something interesting. Boom. I've now almost doubled. What is it? 160 times 2, 320. Yeah, we're getting close to doubling it here. So, just in a few weeks. Sometimes it just works out that way. I think I got lucky on that one because not everything usually works out like going up when Bitcoin's going down. But you get the point here. So if I find it, I'll buy it, but I have to like it. You know, I have to go over to the website, see what they're doing. You know, you can see they're on in buy during dumps, right? In that portfolio there. I've had this portfolio for a while though. You guys know that. I don't show it to you guys probably as much as I used to, but watch list. Low market cap and buy during dumps. Right, so I buy Solana, ICP, GRT, Fetch AI, Ajax, World Token, AELF, ONT, RLC, and FAW. Those are some of the prime ones I buy right now on the dips. I guess I should probably add some meme tokens on there, but the meme tokens have been kind of like when they fall a lot, I buy. It's not so much of a keeping a close eye on them like these ones. But you can see last 24 hours, Internet Computer's up 17%, GRT's up 7, Solana's up 9, Fetch is up 9, Ajax is up 12, you know, 6, 4, Alpha is only up 4, ONT's up 8, RLC is up 7, and FAW is up 9. So there are different ways of going about it. The easy way though, you know, if you want, you can go over here to filters, category, right? And then you can always go to, what is it? Oh, they don't have it there. Never mind. You can just go over here to add filters, go to market cap, still choose something under 500 million if you want to go down that road. I'm still looking at stuff under 500 million, even though a lot of the stuff that used to be 500 million, it's over $1 billion now, which makes it a little more difficult. Go to apply filter, and then you want to go over to price. I like stuff that's under $10 right now, sometimes under $1. I used to be under a penny. I move it up as the market kind of goes along. But let's just say we want to go back to being a penny, right? So 0.01, below a penny, I apply filter, show results. And if you want to, you can go by industry, right? Or platform. I know a lot of people looking at Solana ecosystem these days, algorithm, right? So maybe we want to go off of Solana ecosystem that fits all that. You got Win, Atlas, Lever, Kin, and there's only a few of them. You see how the market caps go down so fast? But that's because they fit those priorities. Maybe some of you guys might want to take off the price here. And then it opens up a few more. Now you can see stuff that I've been looking at, like audio. We've been talking about that one for a while. Has not been moving up as much as I want to. We'll wait and see. And Jito over here, you know, that one's been doing not as well as also. So basically, you can see a lot of stuff. Like Miro, Trump, Orca, Hashflow, Smog. I know some of you guys have been talking about Smog. Those are all opportunities there. I think back in the day, though, there was more stuff over here. But it's kind of gotten, it's above $500 million market cap now, so we don't pay attention to it as much. Like if we got rid of this one, then all of a sudden we just see all the regular Solana tokens that everybody's talking about nowadays, right? And that's a little bit different. Let's go over here. There we go. Oh yeah, this Boeing shakeup's gonna be huge. I really hope they fix up Boeing. There's a lot of jobs out here in my neck of the woods. And a crazy waffle. I got a good deal on ICP at $12. Why does everyone hate it? How much higher do you expect it to go? Hey, appreciate the super chat, man. So, okay, ICP, for me, the reason that I don't like it, and I hold it now. And when it started crashing and burning around like $6 or $7, I started to buy it formally. The reason I didn't like it when it first started to launch was primarily because they launched it at a massive valuation. Like the market cap of which they launched it was crazy, so most people didn't want to buy into it because there wasn't much upside, and it didn't make much sense to buy a token with so little upside back in the market. And they assumed with some ignorance, you know, some hubris, that everybody was going to be rushing to buy ICP for some crazy levels. So if I go over here and I show you guys the chart here for market cap, so it opened up with like a market cap of like $14 billion if I recall. This one says $13 billion, and then you can see what happened afterwards. It just started coming down and down and down. So they kind of mistimed the launch. First of all, the market cap was way too high, so it didn't give people an opportunity to buy low market cap, then make a lot of money off it, which is the whole point of cryptocurrency right now, especially for people that are looking to make money. They're not necessarily doing a lot of research on the tokens, which if you do the research on ICP, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good company, right? But that's not what people are normally looking for, and that's where a lot of the hate comes from. And of course, if you bought up here and you bought into all the hype that they were doing, you saw the value go from like $428 all the way down to $2. You know, so people obviously got pretty grumpy along with that. But that seems to be the thing there. As far as how high it can go right now, it can probably go back up to like $300 to $400, probably even close to all-time highs. But they might need a little bit more oomph to do that. But I'm still anticipating they can have a pretty good move. Because, but yeah, we would just see $7 billion, $8 billion. They still have a long way to go to get back up to that high point there for themselves. Did I hear about Boeing going with Archer Aviation? I don't. Is that one of the companies they sold and they're buying back? If so, yes. But I might not have known much about Archer Aviation. I haven't had a chance to pay attention too much to Boeing. Boeing is massive in the state which I live, Washington State. But all we hear nowadays is like, planes crashing and shit. And I like to travel a lot too. So every time now, especially when I go out in April, I'm like, oh please, am I going to be on a Boeing plane? Is there going to be some type of issue? What? Normally there's not as many issues with planes, but I don't want to be on that. I don't want to be on that one plane where I have an issue. When you can no longer mine Bitcoin and the halving stop, do you think people will still even want to buy Bitcoin seeing that you can no longer profit from it? I think there will be a day around that time where Bitcoin does have a peaking moment. But it's like pretty far off. It really depends on, to me, if in the next 20 whatever years, if they're able to convince people that Bitcoin is a very good storage of wealth compared to whatever new thing comes out in the next 20 years, right? Like, I'm planning on holding Bitcoin for a very, very long time. I plan on holding Bitcoin till some Bitcoin to my death so I can pass it on to like future kids and whatnot. However, there is going to be a time where Bitcoin gets so high that I'm going to sell a large chunk of it and I'm going to be living pretty well for a while. But that's not anytime soon, right? I haven't heard of the bad idea AI. It sounds interesting though. And yeah, Paul makes a good point. 100 plus years, yeah. Buy off the holders. I mean, it's interesting to think about it though. Like, most people here, we're probably not going to have to worry about it. I'm still going to be selling off my Bitcoin down the road in my life though. A lot of it's a long-term type of investment. Again, some of it, yeah, you hold on forever. But like, I don't want to spoil my kids. They should have to work for the money like I had to work for my money. And my first job, I got paid fucking $8. And that was in 2014, So there was a lot of other people making much more money than me at the beginning. And hey, Walkie Videos, how do I feel about Pepe? Right now for Pepe, I'll pull up the chart. It's more about scaling out right now of day trades, but if you're looking in for a longer term trade or if you already bought them, basically the way I'm thinking about it is I'll hold if you want to look at it for maybe week to week. So let's go over here to the daily chart. Right, it feels like we're going sideways for the most part. Dip, came back up a little bit more, trying to have a larger surge. I anticipate this is going to be something more of a grind here over the next few days, and then afterwards we're going to have a larger move that would eventually take us to another level of all-time highs here. Keep an eye on for this. If we start to break down below that, I think I'd be a little bit more pessimistic. But right now, well, let me get this moving on here. Even there, it's not really holding up that well, actually. Yeah, it's hitting some resistance right now, so I might need to dip a little bit more before moving up higher. And that's pretty much the goal here. You can either scale out a little bit, which is typical. Like I scaled out my positions around here for Bitcoin. And then you're going to wait for it to dip back down and then try to make another move up here. This is a 2-hour chart. The 4-hour chart probably gives a little bit more an example here. And then from there, you're just waiting for that next big breakout whenever it happens. It'll happen sometime before Wednesday, it looks like. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it just depends on how long you want to hold it. Typically for me, I scale out a bit here and then I wait to see what happens next. That way I don't lose any potential profits there. Actually, hold on. What was momentum on the 4-hour chart's bullish, the daily chart's bearish, so it hasn't gone full bullish yet. So swing trades might be a little bit iffy, but the day trades should still be working out here. Everything else is still bullish right now. The 15 minutes is where it starts to turn bearish here, where it's cooling off a little bit more, which isn't terrible. It just means it might need to cool off for a few more minutes here. There you are. And hey, Crypto Ricky, is this rally sustainable? We're gonna have to do a dip, then a further rip. Right now, Bitcoin is trying to make an ascending triangle. I'll show this to you very fast. Or let's do this instead. So we need to go up a little bit more, dip, then rip type of effect. That's basically what Bitcoin's trying to do right now. If you want to get more pessimistic about Bitcoin and go down for weeks, it's really going to come down to this breakdown point right here, which at this point doesn't seem like it wants to happen, which is kind of good news for us. Oh God, I'm regretting not having breakfast. I need to make some eggs. Do I ever host spaces on X? I do not, but I may try to eventually. It's just kind of difficult to find time. Each of my kids has a cold storage wallet with instructions on how to cash it out. They each get $20 of Bitcoin every week since 2020. Oh, that's really nice. I don't have kids yet, so I don't have to worry necessarily about it. But they're going to be, I don't know. I'm a much more, I'm gonna raise you right, but after that, you gotta kind of fuck around yourself and you gotta make your own mistakes. Others 250K after the halving thoughts. That was every time the mine Bitcoin is created, also it becomes rare to mine new Bitcoin. I mean, no, there's still going to be people that want to mine Bitcoin for years and years and years to come. They're not going to stop mining just because the it becomes more difficult. And again, as technology progresses, we should have better chips that should be able to mine Bitcoin as well. Could you imagine if we were able to get NVIDIA to pump out some really special chips just for mining Bitcoin? That would be absolutely insane. And I know they'd be bought up in a heartbeat because they'd be absolutely a great investment. But I don't know if the demand is necessarily there for that. But I know they can use the regular stuff that, you know, NVIDIA pops out, and that'd be good enough for most people. So I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, the people are gonna want to mine it for a long time. It's not so much of a thing, something that's gonna happen soon. But you got to imagine that as Bitcoin's value goes up and up more and more and more, the US dollar is going to become weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Like, the average house in America in the next like 50 years could probably go up towards $1 million, the average price of a house, because of how crazy everything has been going. And I don't see us building enough houses to really fix that up. Like back out where, let me show you. So I live around Tacoma area, and every now and again I go out to a cigar lounge out here, and what I've been seeing is like, there's not enough places for houses, right? Not enough places for houses. Everywhere is built out. There's a few grass lots over here, but they're basically turning into apartment buildings, which are overpriced, so nobody can pay for them except for the nurses and whatnot. But even going farther over here, you may say, Michael, what about this huge grass area? No, that's one gigantic military base, so you can't go out there. It's all, yeah, Joint Base Lewis McChord. But even out here, my grandparents live out here around this area over there, and I've been noticing that they have, oh no, my grandparents don't live over here, never mind. They live over there a little bit more. But I've been seeing them plop up new apartment buildings like over here, right? And these apartments are not fancy whatsoever. I mean, they're new, but they're not fancy, right? They're just apartments, right? A balcony. They have letters because like there's apartment cities. I don't like these type of places because I get lost in them. What do you call it? You know, They got the stairs on the outside. There's nothing really fancy about them. They're just apartments, right? But these apartments right here, let's see if I can find it. Zillow map. Can I do this very fast? Zillow's glitching on me. There you go. I might have broke Zillow. Oh. There you go. And then can I do? There we go. Satellite. There you go. Like these apartments over here, they start off at $1,600, $1,643 for 741 square feet, right? And again, this is like 30 to 40. Like, this is actually like 40 minutes away from the city during rush hour, maybe even 50 minutes away. But the cheapest place you're getting is $1,600, $1,643 for 783 square feet. You know what I mean? You're not. Everything is so much more expensive. You're not going to be able to deal with it. So the best thing you could do is just to have some type of hedge against that, which is again Bitcoin. The dollar is fucking. I don't want to hold the dollar. I only have dollars in my account specifically to buy shit. That's the only reason. It'll be interesting to see over the next 20, 30 years, or even just next 5 years. How do the God damn it, go. How do the countries that take Bitcoin as legal tender, like El Salvador, how do they deal with their monetary systems? I'm really curious to see how everything works out there. You can adopt me. I know, heck, I'm not even looking for a wife until I move down to Panama, get myself a Panama wife, and then I don't know how long that'll take. A couple of years of actually searching, finding somebody I actually like. But I want somebody that wants to have like 5-10 kids, so that might take a little bit of work. But they'll raise them along with a nanny, because I can afford a nanny. That'd be such a little perk, right? Do I see a good short XRP? Right now, probably not, because Bitcoin continues to move higher here. If you're looking at XRP, if Bitcoin keeps on going up over the next few days, XRP has a chance to have a pretty seismic move over the next month or two. So I'd be cautious unless you want to day trade the short. For that, you're probably just looking for the 1 hour to turn over to being negative for a little bit, but most likely you want to see the 4 hour turn negative, and that may give you an opportunity to short XRP right now. I have my money in crypto, $350 worth, $350K worth, and only use my checks from work. I plan to retire next year. I'm only 24, 25 this year. There you go. That's a really good way to think about it. It's only 0.26% of the population that can own Bitcoin left. 0.26% of the population that can own Bitcoin left. I don't know what that means, but I probably believe you, but I don't know. Coinbase Bitcoin supply has had a 9-year low today. Oh, that's good. That's really, really good. And hey, Donamir, that probably not pronounced name. I'm 29. Might need a Thai wife. If it was easy to get my dog over to Asia, I probably would have actually moved to Asia over Panama. But it's easy to move my dog over to Panama, and I can rent a private jet to take us over down there, and I don't have to worry about I don't necessarily have to worry about, how would you say, I just it's so much more expensive to get a dog over to Asia. And remember, all I'm taking down there is computer equipment and like everything I need for you, my YouTube channel. That's basically it, plus clothes. That's it. I can buy a Loki new dog bed down there, new doggy blankets, all that type of stuff. Although he might get his favorite dog blanket down there as well. But yeah, what did I show you guys before? This type of stuff. All right. Let's get all that stuff. Open it back up. Go to size, and let's just say I want to have a $2,000. Right. I can get this apartment for $1,800 a month. This isn't a furnished apartment, but it's still pretty good. So it has a living room, right, with a beautiful view of the water. Beautiful views of the water. Dining area right here, I guess, right, with a little patio for the back area. Got a kitchen. Would I ever use the kitchen? I really don't know. Maybe to make sandwiches or something. Balcony, right? Little balcony area. Looks kind of nice. Master bedroom. Bedroom over here. Again, water, which is nice. Master bathroom. Looks like the closet's in here, right? Simple stuff. They have a second bedroom, a second bathroom, a third bedroom, a third bathroom, a fourth bedroom, and a fourth bathroom, right? So there's like plenty of space in there for me. And that type of stuff. So yeah, it'll be fine. It's nice and cheap. Nice and cheap. Maybe a new all-time high today. Oh, I really hope so. And what are we at right now? We just peaked up to 70,913 too. So we're on the verge of breaking 71,000 and going up a little bit higher here. 15-minute chart. We're consolidating a little bit here. We need to definitely have a larger move, but I think after this on the hourly chart, we should be pretty happy with where Bitcoin's going. And plus you can see at certain points, this was a red candle, this was a red candle, this was a red candle. It seems to move up a little bit after consolidating for a few minutes or so. There you go. A little bit of a dip, a little bit of a dip, keeps on moving higher, dip, moves higher. We're just basically waiting for it to move that move higher again, because we've already had that dip, I think, right here. Or maybe we're making the dip right now. 5-minute chart should do the trick here though. Oh, hey, I know Thailand's affordable. Another large creator that I know lives over there, and he was telling me about it. It's just bringing the dog over that seems to be the issue. I don't know how to get my dog over there easily. Otherwise, I probably would. And I want it to be easy for my grandparents and my sister to come visit me. So maybe as I get older, I may actually transition from Panama over to Asia. But I'm not entirely sure just yet. Any piece. What site was that, Mike, for that apartment? Did you change your room? Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, man. Love from Hungary. Appreciate it, man. The one I just showed you guys a few seconds ago. Oh, this is just a real estate place for Panama City, right? This one's simple. The one I did before for American properties, that was Zillow, which is a pretty big company out here. But yeah, this is just showing off apartments over there. Heck, I'm not even looking at the expensive apartments. I'm looking at an apartment like this for 1,200 bucks. I want to save as much money as possible. Because then instead of paying like $1,800 or $1,900, I can also afford to live in Maid at the same time for the same price. It's like $300 to $400 a month, really cheap. So I can have this, right? I'm not swimming in that pool, granted, but still, it's large enough, it's decent enough. I can live here. All I need is good internet. That's enough space for me to live, however much space this is, and then I'm happy. And in this circumstance, I believe this has a view of the water too. So I'd be happy with that. And it's in a quieter neighborhood. You see how it's not all sky rises and stuff? I kind of like that. I don't want to hear all the noise of the cars, which again will make it hard if I'm streaming to you guys and talking. But you know, it's like 1,800 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. I'm happy with that. Now I don't know if I'll look at that exact apartment, but something around there is fine. But I want to save as much money as possible, because then remember, I'm trying to build up a staff for my YouTube channel and stuff. And yeah, I did move my desk around. My sister was nice enough to help me move it earlier, a couple days ago now. And then basically this way you guys can see everything behind me, because I used to have my desk over there, but remember this area flooded back in like December time. And so they replaced the floors and everything, but while everything was being replaced, I had to move my desk into the extra bedroom down there. And in order to get it through all the walls and nooks and crannies and stuff, I had to take it apart. So I don't like to take this apart by myself, because I just lose shit when I do it. I'm not good at it. So took it apart, back again, brought it back in here, and now you guys can see my living room. Or this is like the bonus room. It's like I have a couple living rooms in this house, but this is where I watch my TV basically. I don't really watch TV in any other room in the house. One living room is just for me, like chill out, relax, decompress without electronics. This one is if I want to like listen to good music with the stereo systems and stuff like that. It's really good. And plus Loki's over here. He's you can't see him, but Loki. There he is. Loki, oh, come here. I don't have a treat, but I want to say hi. Alright, well, yeah. He's a big baby as always. But since his bed is upstairs, I haven't brought it back down here since the flood. I basically have 2 sets of blankets down here for him, so he's not on some cold wood floor. He seems to like he likes the blankets a little more than his bed for some reason. So maybe I'll put the blankets on his bed and see if he likes that one even better. There we go. Now I come back over here to Bitcoin. Hopefully a hot maid? No. I'm probably going to have a middle-aged to older maid that's very, very good at cleaning. I don't care necessarily about the looks, but I've heard that you don't want to have good-looking maids that are younger because then they go on maternity leave and then you're stuck finding a new maid. So I don't want to deal with any of that type of stuff. I'd rather just have some nice old person that just loves to clean and clean and clean and clean, and I'll give her Saturdays and Sundays off. She can do whatever she wants to, but come Monday it's gonna be work, 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 work. See, and hey Cal, I appreciate that. Remember, with Bitcoin pump like this, every chart is going to look bullish, but when Bitcoin pulls back 5%, alt's going to pull back 15%. Yeah, well, that's why we also hope that Bitcoin just goes sideways sometimes, right? Like if Bitcoin's able to make a larger move over the next few days here, and we start to go above 80,000, 90,000, whatever. Whenever we peak around that time and go sideways for like a week or something like that, that'll be a great opportunity for altcoins to really go much higher, because the altcoins will usually lag behind Bitcoin between 24 to 48 hours, which is again why I'm still dollar cost averaging a bunch of stuff at this point, just because I assume that Bitcoin's going to be going higher there. And I haven't heard any news, Steve, about Coinbase and Doge. I just looked on Twitter a few minutes ago. I haven't really seen much about it. I'm hearing some weird noises, but they might be my sister watching TV upstairs or something like that. See, I know many military friends who got burnt that way. Wife get divorced for no reason, then what? Oh no, I'm not getting married with an American marriage license. No. I don't trust American marriage system. My mom had been divorced 3 times. My grandparents have been divorced like 5 times. I don't anticipate my marriage literally lasting forever, but to have a few kids, sure, you know. But yeah, I'm not opening myself up to the American legal system by getting married with an American license. No. What do you call? It'll be a Panamanian one at best. And if she can't accept that, that means she really doesn't love me. And if she really doesn't love me, I ain't gonna spend money on her. So what do you call? I am extremely callous. I do not like the way the American marriage is messed up and how the money flows. No. And if I plan on having like 5-10 kids with this person, oh, can you imagine how much child support I'm paying in America? No. That's why I'm living in Panama. You know, maybe if things get you know, if I want a second house or something like that, we'll be having a second house not in America, in freaking Thailand or something, right? Like we were talking about earlier. Much different thing. I am not opening myself up to that at all. And hey, Charles, welcome to Rebuild, my man. Let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate it. And what do you mean by system? Oh, getting married to Thai women. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Actually, I think that's what my one of my grandfathers did, but I think it was a Vietnamese woman after the Vietnam War. Let's see. And hey, Ty, I've been married for 27 years. Love it. There you go. Somebody that's actually has a good story. I haven't had the best stories in my love life. There've always been crazy chicks. Let's see. The pinned message about fairness. Oh, basically, if you sign up using my link, you guys get a bonus for trading, and you guys can get up to $35,000 depending on how much money you input into the exchange. Typically, you can put a lot of money in there if you want the full $35,000, but if you just put a few $100 in there, you get money back for what you can use for trading and stuff like that. A lot of the deals that I put together with my sponsors are basically meant to help you guys save a little bit extra money or get some extra kickbacks, basically, because you guys are part of my channel, that you guys get extra money for signing up, rather than that guy that is looking for an exchange on Google and he's like, ooh, I'm gonna sign up for this exchange, sign up and blah, blah, blah. You get extra perks when you sign up for my links, because that's the way I've kind of built it into my contracts with them. Perhaps Panama laws are better. I mean, they better be. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go find a wife in Colombia or something. What do you call? If the laws aren't worth it, we can be married with everything without the paperwork. Honestly, I've never been like a legal binding marriage person. It's just never been something. Maybe because, again, like I said, my whole family is just tons of divorces. It's never worked out in my entire family. And so the last people that had a fulfilling, like a long-term relationship, were my great grandparents. Nobody in the below has ever had like a real long-term thing. And my great grandparents, they wanted to divorce, but they didn't because they were really religious people. And so it was like very frowned upon from a religious standpoint. So I don't care about none of that stuff. Should you tell your girlfriend, wife, your seed phrase? In a will, sure, in a will, but not just out and about, unless you really trust her. I have yet to trust a woman like that, though, with like important information, because again, I don't really think I have the best look at like long-term relationships, and that's mostly because I work too much. Every girlfriend I've ever had tells me I work too much, but I love money. I like spending money on stuff. Like, they won't complain about going out every like 3 or 4 days to a very luxurious restaurant, but they'll be mad that you have to work for that luxurious meal, right? Yeah, no worries, Amamish. Wait, Don Amir, excuse me. Hopefully we all make some good profits and home prices drop for those looking to move. Is there a housing price chart for the US? There might be. It might be on Trading Economics. It might be like a housing average, but we can find out. United States single family home prices. 10-year max. Yeah, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Going up slowly. 2008 really fueled something, I guess. And here we are, kind of in a more volatile time here. Let's see. They reached an all-time high in June of 2022. Since then, we've kind of been going sideways a little bit more, which is kind of nice. Total housing inventory. 1,070. Is this in millions or something? Oh, in thousands. Okay, so not many houses out there. Pending home sales month over month. Oh, geez. Look at the volatility in this. Yeah, 2019, 2020, of course. Then a whole bunch of buying happened afterwards. And now, yeah, now there's just a lot of selling going on, not much buying, unfortunately. But that's not necessarily terrible, though. That means that people could just be buying new houses. Total housing inventory. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit better than it was just last December. So that's kind of good news. But again, if you go over to the past 5 years, you know, the inventories are going down, 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 not up. But perhaps, you know, things can gear back up. We can kind of get our systems back up and running and start making more houses. Like I was going to say earlier, as Bitcoin tries to take this dip here. They've been turning everything into apartments over here. Back where I live. Now, I guess I don't actually live over here, but when I want to go to the cigar lounge, I take this highway across. I take this little thingamajigger and I hop on this road right here. There we go. Okay. Then when I go over here. Yeah, you go over here. Okay, yeah. Like these things. this is an old photo from 2022, but this is all, instead of Port of Tacoma Inn, this is all apartments now. All apartments. All of these little things over here, they've all turned into apartments. They're no longer inns because they can make a lot more money just charging people to live there every single day. And so this is now an apartment complex. Over here, this is turned into actually it's a mixed place. But yeah, this is a 1-star hotel. And now this place is an apartment complex too, right? So instead of having a 1 room booked for a week, then no bookings for 2 weeks, something like that, just charge everybody to live there. And I think if I go over here to Zillow, Fife, here I'll show you. They may even have them over here for sale, for rent, excuse me. Yeah, here's one of them. Here's the one that we showed you a few minutes ago, right? $1,050 a month for 336 square feet. But I mean, they've redone the inside at least, so that's kind of nice. It's not like a typical, inn. But that's basically what you get right there. The window is so scary because again, it's like right there. That must be the office room because that is not your room. Or there's like a activity area where you can play pool and stuff. But yeah, basically that's it. That's the new concept art there. But yeah, everything has been getting shifted over. So they're like there's people making those investments, but they're not necessarily building up as many new properties because there's a lot of rules and regulations about that. But if you can buy something that's already made and change it up, that's a lot easier from a regulatory standpoint. So that's what people are doing right now. Hey Sheldon, I am very excited to see what happens with the halving. How long do we have now? 25 days, 15 hours, 2 minutes, and 25 seconds. Things looking very beautiful here. Let's go right here. Okay. Oh, Bloom. There you go. Somebody's not getting $10 here today. Do what BlackRock is doing, just buying and loading up. You know what? Actually, let's check out the outflows here and the inflows for today. Let me go over here to Arkham. What's Grayscale doing today? Okay, like normal. Let me show this to you guys. Like normal, Grayscale is loading off on thousands of Bitcoin. That's typical. Fidelity is not doing anything so far. What about Fidelity Custody? They're buying Bitcoin here, not a lot, but they're buying some. BlackRock, not buying any Bitcoin so far today. So we're not really being pumped up by the market, the ETFs. We're being pumped up by just Bitcoin holders, which is kind of nice here. ARK Invest, nothing. Bitwise has bought up a little bit of Bitcoin today, not a lot, but enough. Invesco, nothing today. And how is VanEck? VanEck hasn't bought anything either. Yeah. So we're not seeing a whole bunch of inflows, which is kind of nice for us because that means they're eventually going to be buying back in and they can fuel the next big push up for Bitcoin, which would be very, very nice here. But yeah, that's pretty much the story right now. I like what we're seeing here. And hey, Sheldon, not always when they sell, because they're usually always selling for the most part. They made the mistake of assuming that everybody was going to trust them with their money to do the Bitcoin ETFs, but they overpriced themselves. So they made their fees at 1.5%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you have other places out there doing for 0.5% or 0.25%, or VanEck is even 0.0% until next year, it makes it, people are like, oh, I don't want to, I can save that money and that'll be worth it for me. And that's what they end up doing. Especially if you're looking for a longer term investment, of course. So yeah, we're looking at some good stuff here. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream right here and I'll come back on a little bit later. I plan on doing 2 more streams today. One more stream is going to happen probably in the next like 5 hours, maybe from 6 to 9 or something like that. I am going to go out for a little bit tonight. And so I'll probably go streaming around midnight my time or something as well. So There's gonna be 2 more streams, one more that some of you guys may be able to attend, and for you guys that are like late night owls, you guys will get the next one, okay? So I'll see you guys a little bit later. Bitcoin is having a smaller breakout right here, which looks very, very nice. It may need to consolidate over the next few hours, so just have that, be aware of that. But I'm still excited. We've managed to kind of have a full reversal here, and things looking pretty darn good. I'm still dollar cost averaging. I have not opened up any swing trades right now. In fact, I'm only scaling out of day trades that I took on the last breakout that we talked about a few days ago. So I'm just scaling out right now. If you guys want to day trade, you're seeing a lot of opportunities, but don't rush into anything that you guys are not comfortable with, okay? I know a lot of people feel like they might have missed the dip over the past week or so. It sucks. It happens. You guys will learn how to dollar cost average through dips. It makes it a lot easier. But right now, you know, enjoy the market moving up. Try to find any news you can. And while you're looking at this type of stuff, I'd be looking for new tokens to buy that have those lower market caps like we've been talking about. They usually do pretty well. So see you guys a little bit later, and thank you guys very much for watching. Thanks.